people. It's Thursday. Yeah, it is. This is day 13, I think. I either go live or go home. This is a video, obviously. Anyway, basically, as the requirement was to talk about something you haven't shared on social media before. I have a sad story and a funny story involved in it as well. Basically, I have been married before. This is my current one, second marriage, child. The first one was when I was in my 20s for about 10 years. We weren't actually married for 10 years, we were only married for a couple of years, but we should have actually split up and got married after about 6 years. We had a major communication problem, breakdown I suppose you could say. We didn't talk, and I wasn't happy, she wasn't happy, and neither of us really knew. Turned out she ended up having an affair, left me for the guy she had the affair with, went to the other side of the world and left me with all the debts. That's the sad bit. I found myself working not one, not two, 3 jobs. I was working 2 part-time jobs and 1 casual job. I was working 7 days a week, and I was working a day job during the day, going from the day job to an afternoon shift, which was 4 or 5 hours a day, 5 days a week at Australia Post. I'll step back a sec. Day job, I was doing kitchen cabinets, building kitchens, cabinet making sort of stuff. Afternoon shift, I went to Australia Post and did 5 hours there, sorting parcels. And some days I went from there home, got changed, had dinner, and went to a night shift or night fill, doing a few hours, 3 or 4 hours at Woolies, filling the shelves. On weekends, I was working in the dock at Woolies, the loading dock, unloading all the trucks, all the produce and food and groceries and shit. Saturday I was working from 5 a.m. till 1:30 p.m. Sunday I was working from 6 a.m. till 10 a.m. And some weekends I would also go back in the afternoon, Saturday and Sunday, and do night fill as well. If they were running short of staff, I'd get the call and I would go back and do a split shift. Anyway, it was one of these nights, here's the funny story. One of these nights, I was on a Saturday afternoon, I'd started about 4 o'clock. I think I'd had about 2 hours break between working, because I work longer during the day on the dock. Anyway, went home, had a bit of a snooze, had something to eat, went back. I'd been working, filling the shelves out in the open store for about, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours. Anyway, all of a sudden, my boss came up to me and she said, "Oh my God, you need sleep or you need a woman?" What? And she said, "Well, you obviously can't dress yourself." Now, not only was my work supplied polo shirt with a collar and a pocket inside out, it was back to front. So the collar was on the inside at the front and the pocket was on the inside at the back. And I'd been in the store in the public view for several hours doing my job with that. Embarrassment, humiliation. I was obviously bright red-faced. Anyway, so I ran out the back, took my shirt off, turned it back inside the right way, put it back on properly, and went back out and continued working on the shelves. Anyway, so there you go. I was that exhausted, mentally stuffed, I didn't even realise that a polo shirt was on the wrong way. Anyway, there you go. So, turns out I paid off all the debt, worked my ass off, paid massive amounts of tax, trying to kill myself. You know, they say burning the candle at both ends. Well, I was burning at both ends and in a couple of places in the middle as well. Anyway, so there you go. That's the funny story, it's a sad story. That was back in the early 2000s, so it's a hell of a long time ago. Gotten into another relationship, or plenty of other relationships since then. Got myself married, child, back into debt again too. Bloody hell. Anyway, I'm only working the one job now. this job at one stage was 24/7 on call, as well as working 5 days a week. Thanks to COVID, there's one plus, I guess. They took the 24/7 on call away, and now I only work 5 days a week. Still work long hours during the week, you know. I get there when I get there, and I leave when I leave. As long as the work's done, it doesn't matter. As long as I get the work done. Some days that's longer than others. But anyway, as you can see, I'm probably, it's daylight. It's 5:30. That's an early day for me. I'm on my way home. It's still daylight. Anyway, so yeah, that's my story. Not a lot of people know that. Family on here would know that, or most of it. But they may not have heard the story about the Woolies embarrassment, but some of them will have. Anyway, that's enough from me from there. I'm going to go and continue my drive home. Have a good evening.